thinks that I love her.
This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne.
Also being heard on translator K266CC Cheyenne at 101.1 FM.
We're taking Cheyenne, Wyoming sports talk radio to a whole new level. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Don't look at me. I think these people are completely nuts.
Stop this crazy thing!
And it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE. It's time for Wyoming Sports Talk Today on KRAE. Here are your hosts, Nick and Larry Proetti.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk Today, our Monday afternoon edition, being brought to you by Taco John's of Cheyenne, where they welcome back their fish tacos at all Taco John's locations. Yes, South Greeley Highway, downtown on KRAE Avenue, Yellowstone Road, corner of Dell Range and Ridge, and also on Pershing and Ridge, Taco John's of Cheyenne. Key of Cheyenne over on Nation Way. We're at Key of Cheyenne. Again, the lot is filled with the 2020 model year Kias, whether it's Sorrento, Optima, Soul, or even the Telluride. They have the perfect Kia for you today at Key of Cheyenne on Nation Way. Platte Valley Bank ×2 over on Vanda High, and again over on the corner of College and Pershing, with banking done so many different ways, and talking about the high technology way with the interpersonal touch that they do over there at, again, the old-fashioned interpersonal touch. Many services offered by Platte Valley Bank there for you Monday through Friday. Chick-fil-A, Windmill, and Dell Range right across from Powers Field and Menards. And, of course, over at Chick-fil-A, you can enjoy breakfast, lunch, and dinner 6 days a week. And again, the delicious mac and cheese goes perfect with their chicken sandwich, their infamous chicken sandwich, along with their waffle fries. Again, check out everything over at Ray and Cindy's Place, Chick-fil-A, Windmill, and Dell Range. Medicap Pharmacy for all your pharmaceutical needs, right next door to Texas Roadhouse, open Monday through Saturday. And again, over at Medicap Pharmacy, you can do your business inside or use the convenient drive-thru outside Medicap Pharmacy here in Cheyenne. B&B Appliance and TV at 714 Central Avenue, where they service what they sell. What do they sell? Frigidaire, Maytag, GE, yes, Whirlpool, just to mention a few of the great appliances that they have for you over at B&B Appliance and TV. Lennox Auto Body over on Dunn Avenue, the Auto Glass and Detail Center over on Pershing Boulevard. Again, remember, over on Pershing Boulevard, it's not clean until it's Lennox clean. And again, on Dunn Avenue, hey, you want it almost factory new, you'll get it that way, because they are very, very much a detail-oriented operation over there at Lennox Auto Body. So again, see my good friends Heather and the great crew over there at Lennox Auto Body and the Auto Glass and Detail Center. First Year Bank, 1508 Stillwater Avenue, where you still find some great interest rates on CDs. So talk with our friends today at First Year Bank, open Monday through Friday. Across the street, it's Mondello's Pizzeria at 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons, open Monday through Sunday. Sundays, noon until 8. Hey, sample why the Food Networks have named Joe's Pizza one of the best in the nation, one of the top 10 in the nation. And come on by and enjoy all of the fresh ingredients, the fresh-made dough daily over at Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons. It's scoreboard time. It's brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne. Here's Nick.
Recapping from this past weekend with LCCC men's and women's basketball in action for the final regular season contest at home over at the RAC. On women's side of things for LCCC as they play host to Central Wyoming, the Lady Rustlers in town. LCCC unfortunately loses that contest 72-64. So with the loss, LCCC official, at least regular season record, they will be 7-7 in Region 9 North play, 18-12 overall. That means that LCCC will be your fifth place team in Region 9 North in the standings. They will head up to Sheridan this Saturday, 2 o'clock, which a game we will have here on 1480 AM, 101.1 FM, 1480KRAE.com, and video live streaming on Periscope via Twitter and the 1480 KRAE YouTube channel. Again, it will be Sheridan at least LCCC at Sheridan College, taking on the Lady Generals. This game happening this Saturday at 2 o'clock up there live from the Golden Dome. LCCC men in action this past weekend, this Saturday at home, hosting Central Wyoming, where that was also to a loss for LCCC. They lose 102-91. So with that one, LCCC on the men's side, they're going to be 2-12 in Region 9 North play. They'll wrap up the season 4-24 overall. They will be the number 7 seed out of the North. They will go up to Casper this Saturday at 4 o'clock up there at the Swede, as they will see the Casper College Thunderbirds. So that is the weekend schedule, at least first-round playoff matchups for LCCC coming up this weekend. NHL action for tonight, only one game on the slate happening in Columbus, where the Blue Jackets will play host to the Ottawa Senators, and that's what's happening in NHL action for tonight.
On the NBA slate for this evening, it will be the Hawks and the 76ers in Philly. Bucks Wizards tonight at the Capital One Arena. Heat and Cavaliers in the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse in Cleveland, Ohio. Magic and the Nets in the Barclays Center. Knicks Rockets tonight in the Toyota Center. Timberwolves Mavericks at American Airlines Center in Big D. The Jazz in the Vivint Smart Home Arena in Salt Lake City. They play host to the Phoenix Suns. And late night tonight, the Clippers at Staples. They will entertain the Memphis Grizzlies. Scoreboard this afternoon brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
At Mountain Dew, we say here's to the doers.
The people who know you gotta do what you gotta do.
Who do it big.
Then do it bigger.
Who don't just watch.
So if there's something you wanna do,
here's a little advice.
Grab yourself an ice-cold Mountain Dew.
And get to it.
That's right. Get going.
Get started.
Stand up.
Jump up.
Grab hold of it.
Throw down on it.
Run with it.
Now. Right now.
Not tomorrow.
Not next week.
Next month.
Next year.
Work it out.
Grind it out.
Get stoked.
Get passionate.
And do it.
Do it till it hurts.
Do it till you can't.
Do it till you've done it.
And most of all, don't ask how other people do it.
Don't ask how you should do it.
Don't ask if it can be done.
Don't ask if it's ever been done.
Because there are those who don't.
And those who do.
At Mountain Dew, we say,
let's do.
Let's do.
Let's do.
Let's do.
Do the do.
You're listening to Cheyenne's new Sports Talk Authority. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today on AM 1480 KRAE.
Hearing post-game conferences from Gerald Mattinson, the head coach of the Cowgirls, as they were victorious this past weekend in the AA, as they had a win over the Lady Falcons of Air Force. Of course, the men picked up a win. We'll talk about that here in a little bit, as they went to Clune Arena. Oh, it's a tough house to win in, as Wyoming picks up their second conference win. We'll also hear post-game comments from Mike Malone, as the Denver Nuggets picked up their 39th win of the season yesterday in the can. So we'll have that. And then
is Clune Arena really that tough to win at, where, again, Air Force, that's, again, year in and year out on men's basketball, really not at the top of the heap of the Mountain West Conference? Is it really that tough to play? But
it's a tough house. It really is. It's small. It doesn't
again,
have a big crowd.
We got more to talk about, or at least better things to talk about than what's happening right now with the Cowboys, again, picking up their second Mountain West Conference victory.
Hey, you know what?
But is it a victory that you kind of hold your hat on, of, hey, on the road against Air Force? Not really.
Hey, it's just I'm shocked that they won. You got to remember, they lost to the Air Force in the AA.
Yeah.
And you figure going to Clune Arena, Air Force was going to take care of business at home, and the Cowboys came through and picked
still
up
a team that is not going to win 10 games or at least hit double figures here in this season.
I agree. And I think you
got 2 games remaining. They'll have one coming up tomorrow. Again, they're at the AA, and then they'll be on the road to wrap up the season. So, again, there's 2 games right there.
Did they match last season's total? 8 wins? That's where they're at right now, 8 wins.
Are they?
Yeah, so. But anyway.
Oh, boy.
Let's go right down the list. We will go high school, and then we will move into collegiate basketball. And then, of course, we'll hit the pros. In the about 4:30 today, we're going to talk with Ryan Davis. He's the head coach of the Lady Generals at Sheridan JC, or Sheridan College.
Yeah, as I say, there's no junior college, it's just Sheridan College up there.
You're going to have to bear with me here. I'm got a very sore throat here from doing a lot of basketball. So, anyway, you may have to carry the program today,
Again, I feel no sympathy for you, where, again, I do more basketball for you, especially with high school, as we did this past weekend.
You don't talk as much as I do, though.
I do a lot more, though, on the back end for you. But either way, though, again, on the high school basketball scene, this past weekend, it was more quadrant play here around the area. Again, teams heading over to Laramie, that being at least Cheyenne South. But, again, Cheyenne South taking care of business early, or at least on the ladies' side this past weekend, defeating and upsetting Cheyenne Central. That game on Thursday there at Story Gymnasium. So congratulations, as we mentioned on the broadcast, to Chad DeBryan and his squad picking up a big-time victory, making that quadrant even more interesting on the ladies' side between Central and East, which sets up this Friday there at Story, which will be the final regular season game for those two teams. Again, sets up for kind of winner take all there at that neutral site there at Story, where Central will be the quote-unquote home team, the hosting school for that contest upcoming this Friday. So, but then we move to our contest of East versus South. East, both boys and girls had no difficulty against Cheyenne South and kind of anticipated that.
Now, in the Central loss on the girls' side, you said Delbridge did not play in that.
Did not play, and we know that she is, we've kind of alluded to, and we saw it back all the way in December at that Greeley Round Ball Invitational happening in the state of Colorado, where, Delbridge, who ran into foul difficulty, kind of sat out for majority of that game against Fruita Monument. That was a game that went into overtime. That was a game that Fruita Monument basically chipped away and almost came away with a victory due to the fact that Cheyenne Central just, again, without their team leader, just did not play good basketball.
Well, and again, too, if you think, and you've watched Cheyenne Central basketball, and again, no disrespect to any of the young ladies, but I know, like, when Bolts is on the floor, I'd sag off the defense. She's never going to shoot.
Yeah.
So you basically got 4 on the floor that are going to possibly shoot. You're obviously going to go to Fernio first and foremost. Then you follow it up with, is it Jalen?
Jalen?
Or which one's the sophomore?
Be Jayla.
Jayla, okay. So, you got those two that are going to be your primary shooters, right?
I would think, primarily at this point in time. Again, you have Coach Kirkbride has many threats out there for his Lady Indians, but it's a situation.
I think his arsenal's limited.
I've seen all 5 of those starters take shots, and again, you're going to go with the Jones sisters on the inside to be aggressive, use their height. More than anything, they're going to get a lot of their touches, but also do Fernio, Delbridge.
The 6'2" Jones, she's probably 4th on the list that's going to be a shooter.
But again, you're going to go to her with the height on the inside. We've seen that many a time by Coach Kirkbride. We saw that up in Thunder Basin of how many times that they missed point blank underneath using that size advantage. But again, without seeing that Thursday game there at Story Gymnasium, but again, from the indications, it was that Delbridge being out. That was kind of a major factor. Again, she is that team leader. We've seen Central without her on the floor where, again, they've nearly lost the contest beforehand without having her out there. So they rebounded as they should against Laramie. No surprise. But it's going to be an interesting, second-time matchup coming up this Friday with East and Central. East, especially led by one Kai Buell. She's back on the swing of things, getting back into the offensive rhythm. What teams are we going to see out, at least coming up this Friday, where Central already got the best of East earlier this season there at Story Gymnasium? Is it time that East basically takes the crown away from Cheyenne Central, gets that number 1 seeding out of the Southeast quadrant, and heads up to Thunder Basin with a little momentum next weekend?
I think that whooping they got at Thunder Basin basically showed everyone that. And again, we put Central at the number 1 spot on the Preps poll.
Not anymore. I don't have them.
No. But I mean,
I have them right now. I have them at number 3 behind East and Thunder Basin.
Before they went up to Thunder Basin, everybody had them at number 1.
We even
knew at the beginning of the season.
You had to, though, due to the fact that they beat East.
I know, but we knew at the beginning of the season this was not a number 1 seed team or a top-ranked team.
It's a team that has a good shot at winning a state title. I think without a doubt. I think you can't sell them short.
I disagree. I think if they're playing...
Are they my pick to win the state title? No, East does, but we know that East has flaws. Thunder Basin has flaws. There's a lot of teams right now that we're seeing is not that immortal team like Cheyenne Central on the boys'
I think
side.
Thunder Basin is more complete than you...
No,
then you're sizing them up.
We've only saw the one contest,
and I was pretty doggone impressed with it. Aside from the bad officiating, I'm pretty impressed with that team.
But they had some pretty errant shooting. They had in that ball game to Central many a times though, and they've had that issue. East's problem right now is if Kai goes cold, then you're limited on scoring. It's pretty much where Central, you lose out on Delbridge, you lose out on your key player. If Kai goes cold or if she's running into foul difficulty, there's a majority of your offense going away right there.
All right, well, Fernio misses on the bunnies that she did up at Thunder Basin. If Jayla Jones does not get 10-plus points, they're beat. Again, this team goes as Fernio and Jayla Jones goes, and you must have Delbridge on there at least to add some stability as a floor general, getting the ball to them.
Well, it's kind of like with LCCC of what we see on the women's side with, a lot of guard play, but Delbridge is your primary point guard. When you have to go to a Kenzie Bolt or someone else, it's not the level of play or at least the skill of what you see with Delbridge.
She doesn't have the veteran experience as one Delbridge does. But again, we look at this weekend with both the girls and the boys playing, and this will be at Story Gym. This will be a big community event again, and I'm glad that that it's at Story Gym. I'm going to have to right now say the team that has a better shot at winning probably will be Cheyenne East, and I think Cheyenne East may win this one going away. I think Central has been severely wounded by their two losses to Thunder Basin and the loss to Cheyenne South. I think that one really was a stinger.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I think that's going to be the situation for Cheyenne Central, where they kind of limp into the regional tournament up there at Thunder Basin, where Central, you got a lot of problems if you're limping in there, where you're going to match up with some very talented teams out of that northeast quadrant, where Thunder Basin's very good. Obviously at home they get to host it, so that's one advantage right there. Can't sell short Campbell County of what they've done in recent seasons.
At least they're down this year.
But also to Campbell County, those Gillette schools find a way to turn it up here in the region tournament.
Especially when it's going to be at home.
Look what they just recently did a couple seasons ago, especially on the boys' side, where they had no shot, or at least they were not even on any person's thought process as them being the state champions. But it's up to you. Can't sell them short. They kind of figure it out here come at least playoff time, and also to Natrona County. You can't sell off.
But again, you're catching a Natrona County team that's down this year a little bit. Again,
they've been up and down.
Randy Roden's team is pretty decent. But I don't think they're that killer ball club that he's also.
But Central has learned that you can't sell anyone short, whether it is again. You can't overlook Sheridan. You can't overlook Laramie. You can't even overlook Cheyenne South right now.
You can't overlook anybody, but I'm just saying.
South proved that they can beat you.
Yeah, but again, you're catching a Sheridan team and a Natrona team and a Gillette team right now are down this year.
But again, it's how you're playing of recent right now.
I know, it's how you're playing at the end of the month and heading into the playoffs.
And Central right now is kind of limping in, and we'll see what happens after this Friday, where they could be a team that could be that shocking upset.
Central right now out of these 6 teams, Sheridan, Natrona, Gillette, or Campbell County, Laramie, South, Central might be right there at the top of those 6 teams.
All right.
But they are trending. They got a question mark by their trending right now because again,
and it's a team that's very beatable.
Which team's going to show up to play? If the real Central team, again with the Jones sisters, with Fernio, with Delbridge, and whoever the other forward's going to be, that when that starting five's on the floor and they are, I don't want to use the word mistake free, but when they are in control of the basketball and in control of the game, then they're a tough outfit to beat.
Yeah.
But when we saw them up there, and again, you use Fruita Monument, they look disorganized when you had your floor leader on the bench. They throw up some really questionable shots from the outside.
Questionable shots, but on the inside as well too. You're missing point blank. You're rushing your shots against Cheyenne Central. It reminds you a lot of LCCC of what we're seeing on the women's side, where again, not sure if it's feeling pressure of other teams. You're anticipating the foul, at least opportunity on taking those shots again, where you're basically saying, hey, I'm going to get hacked here. Let me toss it up for that chance at two freebies, so to speak. Not sure what the thought process is, but you see with the Lady Indians compared to the Lady Golden Eagles, it's very similar play styles, very similar kind of teams that go out there on that court right now where, ironically for LCCC kind of limping into their playoff game coming up this Saturday up in Sheridan. Central, if they find a way to lose, and there's a great possibility that they lose to Cheyenne East coming up this Friday there at Story, that's another team that's limping into that regional tournament. where teams like a South, like a Campbell County, like some of those mid-tier teams, they're going to take advantage of and possibly pull off that upset. Again, you got to get 2 losses to exit out of that regional tournament. Could Cheyenne Central be that shocking team that finds those 2 losses and doesn't even make it a state?
Well, and here's the easiest way to answer the question, Nick. Since East Central won, who's been the more consistent team?
East, without a doubt.
And again,
and East is ever since those matched up again, boys and girls. East on both sides have ramped it up. They have again kind of those losses kind of fueled the fire for what those teams are doing right now.
Well, and again, when they went up to Thunder Basin, they also lost as well, but they were a little more competitive.
Yeah.
So again, who's trending right now at this time? Yeah, here on the local side, I would East. Central and South, that's on the girls' side right now.
Yeah, but Central right now, where they're kind of playing out of recent contests, you just wonder is this kind of worry time for Coach Kirkbride and his Lady Indians of where you don't have a whole lot of opportunities. Yes, regular season wraps up this Friday, but once you come into the regional tournament time, you lose. That means your chances to move on to that next step. That important step to make it the state title, or at least that state tournament, it kind of slowly slips away where right now we're seeing that Cheyenne Central, without a doubt, is a beatable team.
But
teams are finding out ways to slow down this team.
Yeah, I know. But again, you throw the butt out there when they play a controlled game. And again, the control starts with keeping Delbridge on the floor. Because again, she's very aggressive. There's nothing wrong with that. She likes to go after the basketball at every avenue, and that is commendable. But she has to stay on the floor.
Yeah.
Once she comes off, and I think you'll agree with me, and I'm sure Chris would too. Once she comes off, you see not so much a misdirection, but things kind of unravel a little bit.
Well, again, it's the same with LCCC. Once we see Haley Anderson step off the bench and not be that point guard.
The freshman's in there, yeah.
Yeah, again, you have issues. We have, whether it is, passing issues, just, miscommunication issues, not smart plays, rushing shots. We see that on both the JUCO and high school levels right now with these local teams, especially on the girls' side, where it's a mirror image of what's going on, where again you rely heavily on that team leader. They get it done for you, but when they got to take a seat or if they run in that foul difficulty, it's like two different it's 2 different teams out there on the court.
So right now, if I'm a betting man and I'm going to the pay window, I'm going to put it down on Cheyenne East. I think the Lady Thunderbirds will split.
Again, how they got, we'll say, embarrassed there at Story. Again, it was a game that was not even close, advantage of the Lady Indians. I think without a doubt, Cheyenne East had that date marked down, that score marked down, and said, "Hey, they're struggling right now. We owe them."
Height advantage goes to Central too.
Yeah.
So I mean, they should control the boards. Should be able to work it down low.
If you're Cheyenne Central, all you need to do right now is pretty much focus all your efforts to try and slow down as one Kai Buell. South tried to do it, but they again kind of struggled against it. Where Kai doesn't need a whole lot of spacing, she can work through a lot of garbage out there.
You also have a couple others on there that could put the biscuit in the basket too. So
yeah, but Kai's kind of your.
I know she should go to.
East is the same way though as Cheyenne Central, where you take out that team leader, it's a completely different team out there.
All right, speaking of East Central, let's go over to the guys' side. That will be the nighttime performance. Do we need even to go deep into this?
No, Central.
I mean, let's give McCord his due. Xavier McCord is playing excellent basketball right now. He's probably at the top of his game, but again, we always think of Central and Lawson Lovering. Well, Randy LeBeaumont has been playing well coming in. I mean, if these guys had to play 25 minutes, that starting 5, I don't know what they could do. I mean, they could probably put up a Hondo.
Yeah, without a doubt.
But they're not playing 25 minutes. They're probably getting in maybe 16,
well, again, that tells you how
minutes.
deep Central is and just how unreliant they are on one individual person right now. Again, that being Lawson Lovering, where, yes, he is still a big mainstay for Cheyenne Central Indians, but Again, whether it is Staffley, whether it is, Talich,
Storbo
twins, again, whether it is Lobatos, you got a lot of options throughout to at least get the basketball, to take shots, and be that guy to at least kind of carry the team. Again, it is an unselfish Central team that any night, any one of those five, or again, some off the bench, could pick it up, be your point leader without a doubt. We know that. We've seen the Central team. Hence the reason why they're undefeated here in the state of Wyoming.
And also, too, if you look at each box score, which I have done throughout the course of the year.
Not been close.
Well, no, but what I'm saying, though, Lawson Lovering may be the leading scorer one night. The next night out, it's Talich.
Well, that's what I just said.
But but I'm just saying, though, I mean, this is a very, going back to, talking about your statement there where they're very unselfish. Kate's coming off the bench. He could hit 3-pointers, once he steps off the bench. Staffley probably won't be your leading scorer. He's more of your leading assist guy.
Yeah.
But, again, with you got Storbo, Talich, and Lovering out there, that's money in the bank with those three right there.
Yeah.
And especially Lawson Lovering.
And pretty much, again, as we've gone through this, through the entire state of Wyoming and on both the Eastern Conference right now for Cheyenne Central, we saw what Central did to East a few weekends ago there at Story Gymnasium. I think similar results going to happen coming up this Friday against Cheyenne East. Yeah, give credit to the Thunderbirds. They are playing at top of their game right now. Again, this is where at least Coach Rusty Horsley wants his team at, heading into at least postseason, but is it enough right now to take down the Central team? No.
And, Chance Allmiller's playing really well right now. Xavier's brother's playing well.
And again, East is the same way as Central, where, again, you can go to Buell, you can go to either McCord to win.
And Rail, Jake Rail.
But again, Allmiller, again, there's multitude. Again, that's also two very unselfish team. But talent-wise, and again, just where Central is at this season, this is a team where, I feel confident where they can run the table in the state of Wyoming.
Yeah, and also, too, and like we talked with the Gillette announcer when we were up there, this season and next.
Yeah.
Realistically. And the thing is, too, even though McCord is having some really good numbers here as of late, he's, 6-7 inches shorter than Lawson Lovering. So, again, they always got that extra money in the bank.
Yeah.
Again, with Lawson, and we saw that at Thunder Basin, too. Thunder Basin, I think Blaine Allen was their tallest guy at about 6'4". And, once they were not...
It's not a tall bunch, but it's a team that likes to shoot from the outside, and that's how they have gotten a lot of their victories, at least for the Bolts, is, again, that three-point shooting. Team that's matching up size-wise, whether it's height or kind of the bigs, is Sheridan, but even... Sheridan at least gave Central a scare down here. We'll see what happens where, again, Sheridan doesn't have to make the long road trip to at least take on Central. It'll be a slight trek on over to Gillette for the regional tournament, but that's the team that's going to match up well in the regional tournament with Cheyenne Central. But, again, this Central High team that makes a very good case every single night that this is the dominant
But if they
team.
get knocked off, that would be the team that would knock them off.
Yeah, I would say if out of the Eastern Conference, Sheridan is your only team that has a legitimate shot of taking down Cheyenne Central right now.
But wait, and this game coming up on Friday night, and doggone, I wish we were here for this one. I wish we weren't traveling because we'll be on the road. I know I wanted to see this one because this one has the earmarks. And do I think East is going to win? No. Do I think they can keep it close? Absolutely. I think they can. If they get beat by 10, it wouldn't surprise me.
It'll be close early on, but I think Central cruises, as they've been doing throughout this entire season. Again, you look at some of the box scores that they did of recently and on the road trip. Central East is going to be competitive, I think, for about a half. And then Central finds a way to kind of bury them and just kind of separate themselves as they've done. This is a Central High team that can creep up, or at least they have that slow, steady start. But once you get them out of halftime, then they ramp it up. Then they pick up the pace, and then they just pile it on. I mean, we go back to what we saw up in Thunder Basin and what they did against that Bolts team at half. They ramped it up, albeit with all those fouls being called against them. And again, you ran into foul difficulty with one loss in Lovering and a few other players there for the Indians. But this team that still rallied around, picked up the pace, and basically buried that Thunder Basin team in their home court.
Well, again, get out there to watch both East Central play on the girls and guys side this Friday night.
Yeah, East.
I think the guys game is going to be the entertaining one. It's going to be up and down.
The girls should be entertaining due to the fact that Central has already proved that they can beat East, but East right now again is the hotter team. Central struggling a bit. You would anticipate that one should be a little bit more competitive, but I think that could be a double-digit at least victory for Cheyenne East. On the guys' side, I'm thinking probably same of double-digit at least advantage where it might push 20-point at least in favor of Cheyenne Central. You might have a split where East girls win, Central boys take care of business that night. That's just my opinion of where the teams stand.
It could be a split, yeah. I think it's safe to say that one will be a split.
It's a question I've asked this entire season. Who beats Cheyenne Central on the boys' side? I don't see it. No team.
It shouldn't happen here locally.
Outside of Sheridan, but again, right now, they're the only team that has a good possibility. But it is still a question of who beats the Central High team. I don't think anyone does, and I think this is a team that has got to be the clear favorite to win the state title coming up here in 2 weekends.
All right, time out. We'll take one of those right now. Come back. We'll get into some collegiate talk. On the JUCO side, I know we'll be talking with Ryan Davis, the head coach of the Lady Generals in Sheridan, coming up around 4:30, but we'll talk about what we saw this past weekend. We're back after this right here on 1480 KRAE. First Tier Bank strives to remain competitive and offers some of the best CD rates in the community, as well as area banks and credit unions per Rate Watch reports. How does that make a difference to you? First Tier Bank can assist you in securing some of the best rates on CDs. First Tier Bank offers the personalized customer service you've grown accustomed to and deserve. Plus, feel confident that your finances are taken care of by a responsible, knowledgeable staff. Call 307-632-3500 and ask for Caitlin or Debbie. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Your locally owned and operated radio stations, KYOI-FM and 1480 KRAE-AM, are just that, local, serving Cheyenne and Laramie County, where your advertising dollar stays local too. It doesn't end up in Colorado, Oklahoma, New Hampshire, or even New York. We conduct business here, we shop here, and we live here. And we support our entire community 24/7, 365. Just because it has a window dressing doesn't mean it isn't a facade. A reminder from KYOI and 1480 KRAE.
You're looking for fun and style? Then the new 2019 Kia Optima has what you need. And here at Kia of Cheyenne, we can help you own one. I'm AJ Miller, and the 2019 Kia Optima will reward your daily drive with comfort, performance, and advanced engineering. Kia Optima technology, your phone allows access to remote lock or unlock, climate control, 24-hour roadside assistance, and much more. Come in, call 775-0123, or go to KiaofCheyenne.com. We'll make it easy.
Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
Capital Lumber is number one in Cheyenne. Are you listening? We're all the lumber store you'll ever need.
Since 1966, family-owned and operated Capital Lumber Company has been the stop for all lumber, paint, tools, accessories, remodel and do-it-yourself projects, and so much more. Now, Capital Lumber Company announces the beginning of a tasty relationship with Traeger grills, as they now have in stock several models of Traeger grills, along with pellets and accessories. Capital Lumber Company at 1222 Dunn Avenue in Cheyenne. Are you thinking about buying a new water heater? You could spend $1,300 or more on a gas-fired water heater, or you could spend $0 on a top-of-the-line electric water heater from High West Energy. That's right, $0. High West members can upgrade from gas to electric without spending a penny. Don't you wish all decisions were this easy? Go to highwestenergy.com to learn more, or call 307-245-3261. High West Energy, the best choice, the local choice, the right choice for you.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
Weather-wise for today, high wind warning is in effect until 5 p.m. Otherwise, partly to mostly cloudy and windy. Look for a daytime high of 33. A slight chance of snow showers this afternoon. Winds will be westerly to around 40 miles per hour, gusting as high as 55. For tonight, partly cloudy and windy again with a chance of snow showers after midnight. Winds will be westerly at 25 to 30, gusting as high as 45. And for tomorrow, Tuesday, mostly cloudy with a better chance for snow showers. Expected daytime high near 23. Continued windy northerly winds at 20 to 30, gusting as high as 45 miles per hour.
When it comes to sports talk in Cheyenne, it's a whole new ballgame.
Let's play ball.
You're listening to Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk today. More hoops to talk about. A couple of disappointing losses this past Saturday that we called in the rack as the Lady Golden Eagles first laid an egg.
They've done it for 3 straight games. Right now for LCCC, heading into the playoffs, as we mentioned, we will have that game. We will have women's action this Saturday. Again, we will not travel with the men. Instead, we will cover the women, again, as they will be up in Sheridan taking on the Lady Generals. But LCCC on a 3-game losing streak. Talk about a team that is limping into the playoffs where this past Saturday, their fate was in their own hands. Yes, they had a scoreboard watch a bit up there in Sheridan at the Golden Dome where, as our game finished up, just about a few minutes afterwards, we learned, or at least we knew, that Casper was going to come away with a victory and take care of business against Sheridan, which, again, left the door open for LCCC. If they were to win against Central Wyoming, they would have been the 4 seed. They would have been playing at the rack and hosted Sheridan down here, at least for the first-round playoff game.
First and foremost, do you or me actually believe, as you mentioned scoreboard watching, did we actually believe that Sheridan was going to beat Casper?
No, and that's why I gave those updates where I think it was about 4 minutes or about 8 or early on in that contest up there at the Golden Dome where it was pretty much a double-digit lead already for the Thunderbirds, at least for the Lady Thunderbirds, and we knew immediately that, yes, all right, if LCCC can find a way to pull off the victory here against the Lady Rustlers, a team on paper they should have beat. Without a doubt, they should have no problem against this team. A team that before their victory this past weekend at the rack, Central Wyoming coming at 3-10 in Region 9 North Divisional play.
And remember,
they were 7-19 overall.
And you beat them at Riverton.
Yeah.
And
they struggled.
Yeah,
but thankfully, again, what helped the victory up there in Riverton against Central Wyoming was, again, your mainstay, that being Latu, where she exited out with 5 fouls. She ran into foul difficulty. Again, she is that mainstay, that team leader where that team isn't the same when she's not out on the court. But we saw stints of that as well, too, in this contest where she had to exit out early.
Well, we saw 4 that had 4 fouls. Latu, the Coulter kid had 4. Sparks ended up getting 4, and I'm trying to remember who else had I don't have my sheets in. But point is, they got into foul difficulty. Their bigs got into foul difficulty, and we didn't expose that enough. Yeah, I think you would agree with me on that. But the mistakes, and you and myself have discussed this on the air with Coach Ortmeyer, 30 games logged by this team. And, again, if you didn't know any better, you thought they were playing in the first game of the season. I mean, it's just simple, basic basketball mistakes. And
it's something that Coach Ortmeyer and you all talked about on the pregame. It's something we've mentioned a couple times throughout the season. Outside of Haley Anderson, you got a bunch of guards out there. You have a few bigs, whether it's Jakia or, again, you go with Abby Giroux on the inside. But, it's a pretty much guard-heavy team. When Haley's not playing out, when she's not out there on the floor, who controls that basketball team, who is the team leader without a doubt, again, the sophomore veteran for LCCC, when she's not out there, whether it is, taking a break, foul difficulty, out with the concussion, it's a completely different ball team out there due to the fact that you have no one that can pick up that slack. And you have issues trying to find that point guard or at least that leader right now to get that ball inbound and set up the play.
The one person I would probably lean to, and she really has been very inconsistent all season long, is Raven Allen.
Yeah.
I was pretty disappointed that she would not assume that role at the point and be the one to dish it out.
Yeah.
She likes to go inside and mess with the tall timber, and that's fine. And probably.
But Saraven's issue is also too, she runs into foul difficulty very early on.
She's very aggressive defensively.
Yeah, she's very aggressive without a doubt. Again, don't blame her for that, at least nature, but there are some fouls that she does commit that are, we saw one where it's like, why are you committing that?
Yeah, it's too late in the season. Now, I know last year she lost the whole year because of the Achilles injury, but, the way this team has unfolded, and again, you want to talk about trending downward right now, very nervous about this trip up to Sheridan. Very nervous.
Where they struggled. Granted, we've talked many a time of how that contest went all the way back up at the Golden Dome, where LCCC didn't help their case in that contest. Same with other outside factors, but it's something that LCCC, they got embarrassed up there. They came back down to the rack, took care of business against the Sheridan team, so at least they split the season series. You know that you can beat this team. But right now, it's not even a question of can you beat Sheridan. It's a question right now of where we're at in a 3-game losing streak with this team. Can you beat any team right now? So far, you couldn't get it done against Eastern. You couldn't get it done against, at least against Central Wyoming. Right now, were they expected to beat Gillette up in Gillette? No. Right now, for LCCC, you look up and down Region 9 North, didn't matter where they were in the standings. It's an issue of, can you beat anyone right now?
Well, and again, let's look at those losses on the road at EWC. Look at the loss Wednesday against EWC. Look at the loss at Gillette. Look at this one against Central Wyoming, where you were leading. Again, you were up by 8 at halftime.
So let's start with EWC on the road at Torrington, where that was not even a close contest. Lady Lancers just blew LCCC out of the building.
And did the Lady Golden Eagles bring a game? Here's the problem. The Lady Golden Eagles have not brought a game with them. They have brought – it's almost like they're bringing basketball on the floor, trying not to lose.
The only game that they brought, or at least had competitiveness in, was Eastern Wyoming here in town at the rack, where we saw, or at least the infamous kind of last few moments of that contest, where
the meltdown.
The meltdown literally by LCCC, where they had the basketball, had a chance to tie, if not win that contest, but instead on the inbounding pass, you threw it to a Lady Lancer, game set match there for EWC, where again LCCC loses that game by 2 points. But that was your only competitive game where at least it was good to see that they answered back towards EWC. They had to come back in that contest to get competitive with the Lady Lancers, but they had a shot. But you look at what happened this past weekend with Central Wyoming. LCCC did everything to hand that game to the Lady Rustlers.
You want to talk about pointing the pistol downward toward your feet. Yeah, you shot yourself in the foot. And
it's something where, again, not to, as much as we're all for LCCC, but again, to be honest and be realistic with this team right now with the Lady Golden Eagles, and I've said it many a time on the broadcast, you wonder how this team had 18 wins this season. This is a team that should be...
And beat two top 25 teams. Figure that one out.
You beat Casper at home, and you manage on a neutral site to beat Midland College. Don't know how. Honestly, do not know how. It seems like it's been a turning point since that Casper victory in the rack. That LCCC's just gone on meltdown mode, has just kind of collapsed inward on itself, and right now it's a team that just struggles. What team's going to show up at least this Saturday up in Sheridan? We don't know. Can't size that up.
Well, and again, too, Nick, here's where we're at with this team. You got to play. We're still waiting for that quote-unquote perfect game, okay? You're making 20-plus turnovers in the 30th game of the season.
Yeah.
Unacceptable. And the mistakes that are being made by the Lady Golden Eagles.
And it's not just freshmen, it's sophomores there, too.
It's the same mistakes that we have called out back in January.
Yeah.
Back in December. So, again, with this team, if they want to continue, well, let's wait. You only got one more chance. You screw this up.
It's one and done. Your season's over of what could have been where we were early in January where we thought this team could do something special this season. Right now, it's a scenario of can they even make it back to the Region 9 tournament that last year's team at least was able to do. Last year's team that was able to host a playoff game at the RAC, this year's team now has to go on the road to Sheridan to at least get a chance to go into the Region 9 tournament, which will be hosted up in Casper on the women's side. But right now for LCCC, it's something that, we think towards the men and head coach Jason Ficca, where he mentioned to us where it's a scenario that what I'm teaching these athletes, they're just not
absorbing.
They're not absorbing. It's a scenario where what Coach Ficca kind of told us of, hey, trust what I'm teaching you.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, they're not trusting it.
Well,
you wonder if it's the same thing right now with Coach Ortmeyer and what he's doing with his Lady Golden Eagles of, hey, this is the system. You need to trust it. I know what I'm doing. I got you 18 victories for a reason. Do what I'm telling you. Learn the skills. Don't revert back to high school days. This is collegiate basketball. Stop acting as if you're playing a high school basketball game right now.
Well, and again, too, let's look back at that particular game. Again, and Anderson also very aggressive on the defensive side, commits some dumb fouls, which, prompts her to go to the bench as well, too. But, she made up for scoring. She had 22 or 21 points. But look at Abby Giroux. While she was in there, she was very effective. The problem that the Lady Golden Eagles had in that game, they couldn't get the ball to her.
Yeah,
you notice that?
And again, give credit to Abby of what she's been doing. Something we've kind of criticized her for many contests early on in the season. We've seen stints, or at least you're seeing that learning moment from her, where no longer bouncing the basketball on the inside. Instead, she's taking that basketball going straight at the hoop. I mean, there was that learning, at least, and I think I made precedent to mention that on the broadcast of, hey, she's learning. She's not doing that old-time mistake. She is now being aggressive, going straight to the hoop instead of putting the ball on the floor, which, i.e., in previous, at least, contests, have been a steal, turnover, some way negative regarding LCCC.
But again, when you go, correct me if I'm wrong, you go to your hot shooter. And on Saturday, with Haley being good from the outside, who was tough inside? She had the height advantage. Once she stepped on the floor, she had the advantage inside, and we stopped getting the ball to her.
And the issue as well, too, for Abby, and we didn't get an explanation on that, and hopefully when we talk with Coach Ortmeyer sometime this week, but I do believe for majority of that second half, Abby sat on the bench. She was out for
remember we said they went with their faster, smaller lineup.
Yeah, so again, Abby wasn't even a factor in that second half. She played limited minutes, so not sure if she was injured or if that was just kind of Coach Ortmeyer trying to attack speed with speed, or trying to tie her out, or at least get Central Wyoming to exit out of the contest, where, again, they were picking up a lot of fouls, but not sure what was going on with that one. But either way, though, again, Central Wyoming, nothing against the Lady Rustlers. They brought their A game. They played spoiler. Again, this is a Central Wyoming team that had nothing to play for except for pride, essentially, and kind of keep bay Northwest College, albeit that Northwest College was kind of on pace to kind of sit in that seventh, at least, spot there in the Region 9 North standings. But Central Wyoming, where they came in that contest basically realizing, hey, we could play spoiler here. We can make this team go on the road, and they did it. Give credit to Central Wyoming, where they brought it for the final regular season game.
And again, where LCCC handed it to them, too, with, again, the turnovers that were costly. And again, if we would have looked at the stat there, points off turnovers, I guarantee you it would have been well in favor of CWC. As they won 72-64.
I would not argue against that.
All right, well, we do need to take a timeout. As we will put well, do we want to get to the guys real quick here before we take a timeout? And then
we could get to the guys in the beginning. For a little bit here.
We also have the Denver Nuggets, too, we want to get to, and then Coach Ryan Davis.
To whenever that is.
All right, well.
We got plenty of time.
All right, well, do we want to stay on the guys' side?
We need a break.
All right, we're going to take a timeout. We come back. We're going to check in with the press conference of head coach Gerald Mattinson of the Wyoming Cowgirls. Hey, they were victorious this past Saturday in the Arena Auditorium as they defeated the Lady Falcons of Air Force. His comments coming up right after this on 1480 KRAE.
What is Schwab's modern approach to investing? It's great service. It's transparency about how much you're paying in fees and commissions. It's offering some of the lowest costs in the industry backed by a satisfaction guarantee. If you're not satisfied for any reason, they'll refund the eligible fees and work with you to make things right. So ask yourself, are you getting low cost and award-winning service? If not, maybe it's time to call Schwab. Visit Sam at the Cheyenne Independent Branch or schwab.com/Cheyenne for more information. Charles Schwab and Company, Incorporated. Member SIPC.
John Mason here for Lincoln Way Pawn. Please visit us this tax refund season to get the most bang for your buck. We are the largest and busiest pawn shop in Wyoming for several reasons. We have a 20,000 square foot pawn store with thousands of great lightly used items, and we guarantee everything we sell. We also cash refund checks and do payday loans, and we will even sell you your party supplies at Lincoln Way Liquor. That's Lincoln Way Pawn and Lincoln Way Liquor at 2825 East Lincoln Way, Cheyenne.
Did you know B&B Appliance and TV has a local warehouse where they stock a variety of appliances in a wide range of colors and finishes, including black and white? Their friendly staff realizes that one look isn't for everyone, and appliance shopping isn't always convenient. B&B Appliance offers free in-town delivery and disposal of your old appliances. They'll be there for you after the sale, too, because they always service what they sell. B&B Appliance and TV, 714 Central Avenue. Best brands, hometown service.
MHP is a certified public accounting and consulting firm located in Bow, Cheyenne, and Fort Collins, offering accounting, tax, and consulting services to businesses, not-for-profit, government, and individual clients. MHP takes pride in their commitment to providing close, personal attention to their clients. They also continue to invest time and resources in continuing education, state-of-the-art computer technology, and valuing their relationships with you. MHP is a proud supporter of local and UW athletics. MHP, 314 West 18th Street, or call 634-2151.
Hi, I'm Tristan Johnson, mortgage lender at Platte Valley Bank. A home is more than where you live. It's where you make a life. At Platte Valley Bank, we have tailored home loan products paired with great rates and friendly people so you can focus on making memories, not paperwork. I will work with you every step of the way to find the mortgage product that is right for you. Stop by Platte Valley Bank at 3310 North College Drive in Cheyenne or visit www.pvbank.com to get started today.
Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
For almost 30 years, I've had the pleasure to talk about Cheyenne Auto Repair and Service. Hi, this is Larry Proetti with an invitation to bring your vehicle into Cars for service and minor repairs that are done with precision and care. Now, I've known John and his staff for a long time, and when it comes to tune-ups, replacing shocks, fixing fuel pumps, replacing timing chains, working on heating and air conditioning units, or even just a good old-fashioned oil change, I only trust my car when it comes to service to be under the care of Cheyenne Auto Repair and Service. They are a TechNet professional, where their work is covered by a nationwide limited repair warranty that extends across North America for 24 months or 24,000 miles, whichever comes first. For more information, check out technetprofessional.com on the World Wide Web. Cheyenne Auto Repair and Service always goes one step above the rest when it comes to the care of your vehicle. 604 West Lincoln Way in Cheyenne, open Monday through Friday. Call and set up an appointment at 632-0498.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
Weather-wise for today, high wind warning is in effect until 5 p.m. Otherwise, partly to mostly cloudy and windy. Look for a daytime high of 33. A slight chance of snow showers this afternoon. Winds will be westerly to around 40 miles per hour, gusting as high as 55. For tonight, partly cloudy and windy again with a chance of snow showers after midnight. Winds will be westerly at 25 to 30, gusting as high as 45. And for tomorrow, Tuesday, mostly cloudy with a better chance for snow showers. Expected daytime high near 23. Continued windy northerly winds at 20 to 30, gusting as high as 45 miles per hour.
Here the season never ends. From Wyoming sports to the Broncos in Denver. From Rockies baseball to talking hoops with Nuggets basketball. Local, regional, and national. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
First quarter, unfortunately, around there, and then you guys kind of flipped the switch. You went on a 17-2 run there in the second quarter. Just what was, is there anything said in after the first quarter that kind of ignited the team?
You know, I think that what happened is we were able to get the ball inside a little bit more to Jaden. Jaden posted up pretty well. We were able to change our motion just a little bit with a couple of cuts. Got in, went on a score, and obviously defensively. I mean, I thought in the second quarter we played really, really well. Again, defensively, you know, especially on their two scores. I thought, you know, I'm really pleased what we did and like I just said on the radio, things that don't show up in the box score. In that second quarter, McKinley Bradshaw went in and just did an outstanding job guarding. Sometimes it was Snyder. Sometimes she got on Nhl, but she just was glued to him, and it made it tough for him. And I thought in the second quarter, when it got late in the shot clock and those two couldn't get the ball or couldn't get that last shot up, they had a hard time figuring out what they were going to do with it, and then we were able to come back and get some baskets.
One thing that kind of stood out to me, I told the girls, is you guys had 4 more turnovers, but you had 9 more points off of their turnovers.
Yeah.
Kind of what does that say about limiting your mistakes and not letting them take advantage of them?
You're exactly right, and it's been kind of funny because our turnovers have been way up, but it drives me crazy. But it's something that I have to live with right now. If we want to let Tommy and a couple other players do some of their thing, but we do here in the next 10 days or so. We got to get our turnovers taken care of. And a lot of times today, our turnovers shouldn't have been. And I'm obviously not going back and looking at today's film. I don't have enough time. We're out of here tomorrow to go play on Monday, but. I thought their half-court trap at the end, we kind of prepared for it, and we acted like we had just was checked out. And, I thought we had an opportunity to pass the ball early. We held it till the trap came. We didn't rotate to where we wanted to, but in the long run, it worked out. So, some of those turnovers, I would guess there's 4 or 5 right there that, sometimes didn't lead to anything. But you are right. We have to play at the pace we want to play, but with fewer turnovers.
18 for 19 from the line, but 9 of 10 in the fourth quarter, knocking down free throws when you're fatigued. How big of a role is that going to play in the remainder of the season?
Well, it's going to be huge because, matter of fact, that's one of the things I've been really, really pleased about the last few games. We've hit free throws. There's been games this year, obviously, you've been with us all year. All we needed to do was hit a free throw or two, and it would have ended the game early, and we haven't been able to do that. I thought the last 3 games, we haven't had as many against CSU. We had a few more against Utah State, and today we were able to get there 19 times. But, like we talk about, those are free points. So when I look at that, that's one of the first things I look at and try to explain to these guys. That's why you hear me, don't foul, especially on shots. Don't foul shots because then you're just make a shot. So I look today and we're a plus 11 at the free throw line. So what did we end up winning by? We won by 16, plus 11 at the free throw line. That's a huge difference right there. That's a huge difference.
Just Monday, just quick turnaround. Just kind of, how do you guys prepare for that?
All we're gonna do is those guys are in there right now. They'll get their. They got all kinds of things they do. I don't even know what they are. They got the things on their legs. They'll take ice baths. They'll do all that. They'll come in again in the morning, especially those that got got the minutes. They'll get, I call it rehab, but it's not. They'll get their treatments and once again get their legs taken care of, get ice bath. We're going to watch film in the afternoon really, really quick on Nevada. We're going to walk through a couple of things. We're going to catch the plane. We're going to go. We're going to have dinner, shoot around Monday, and go play Monday night. That's basically all I can ask of these guys. They 3 physical games. I'm so proud of the way we've met these three teams with the physicality. That's kind of been a little thing for us in the past where we might not have handled it, but we've stepped up, and now 3 games in a row we've met that, and I'm just proud of them. Proud as can be.
This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne. It's time for Wyoming Sports Talk today on KRAE. Here are your hosts, Nick and Larry Proetti.
Hour number 2 of Wyoming Sports Talk today. It's being brought to you by Mondelo's Pizzeria. 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons, open 7 days a week, Sundays, noon until 8. First Year Bank, right across the street, open Monday through Friday, 1508 Stillwater Avenue. Lennox Auto Body on Dunn Avenue, the Auto Glass and Detail Center over on Pershing Boulevard, both part of Lennox Enterprises, serving our community for over a quarter century. B&B Appliance and TV, 714 Central Avenue. Medicap Pharmacy, open Monday through Saturday. They are next door to Texas Roadhouse. Chick-fil-A, also open Monday through Saturday, serving up 3 delicious squares directly across from Powers Field and Menards. Chick-fil-A, Windmill, and Del Range. Platte Valley Bank on the east side. You'll catch them over there at College and Pershing, the original location on Vanda High. Again, open Monday through Friday. Key of Cheyenne over on Nation Way, where AJ and the crew invite you to come on by, kick a few tires, take a test drive, and take home the key of your dreams. Key of Cheyenne on Nation Way. And at Taco John's of Cheyenne, fish tacos are back. Just thought I'd throw it out there, along with the Taco Perfecto. Again, at all participating Taco John's of Cheyenne. And it's scoreboard time, part 2, brought to you by our friends over at Pepsi of Cheyenne. Here's Nick with the latest scores.
From this past weekend with LCCC men's and women's basketball, as it was a final regular season contest for LCCC at home, taking on Central Wyoming. On the women's side, it was a loss for LCCC. They lost 72-64. So with that loss, LCCC wraps up the regular season with a record of 7-7 in Region 9 North play, 18-12 overall. They are the 5th place team in Region 9 North. They will be heading up to Sheridan coming up this weekend, this Saturday. 2 o'clock is the tip-off time. They're live, at least up at the Golden Dome, a game that we will have here on 1480 KRAE, 101.1 FM, 1480KRAE.com, and video live streaming on Periscope via Twitter and also to the 1480 KRAE YouTube channel. Again, we will have women's action. Fortunately, we will not be able to carry the men's action as their game is at 4 o'clock happening down in Casper the same day coming up this weekend. Speaking of which, the men this past weekend taking on Central Wyoming, the Rustlers. As for LCCC at home, it was a losing effort for them as they lost 102-91. On the men's side for LCCC with the loss, they're going to finish up the regular season 2-12 in Region 9 North play, 4-24 overall. That is 7th place in Region 9 North play. As I mentioned, they will be heading up to Casper to see the Thunderbirds coming up this Saturday at 4 o'clock there at the Swede. NHL action for tonight, only one game on the slate, which will be Columbus Blue Jackets at home hosting the Ottawa Senators. That's what's happening in NHL action for tonight.
On the NBA side, it will be the Hawks at the 76ers in the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, PA. Wizards tonight in the Cap One Arena in D.C. They will host the Bucks. It will be the Heat and the Cavaliers in Cleveland, Ohio. Magic and the Nets in the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. The Rockets in the Toyota Center. They entertain the New York Knicks. Timberwolves and the Mavericks in American Airlines Center in Dallas. Suns Jazz at the Vivint Smart Home Arena in Salt Lake City. Clippers tonight in Staples. They will entertain the Memphis Grizzlies. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
I'm Nate.
And I'm Kate.
And we're not just literal taste buds. We're best buds.
And there's nothing that we love more than a
cool,
crisp,
deliciously refreshing Pepsi!
Sure, we live inside your mouth.
But that doesn't mean we don't enjoy the finer things.
Hey, Nate. Pepsi incoming!
Here it comes!
Tastes so good.
Tell me about it.
So,
amazing.
That's what I was thinking.
It's like we share the same mouth, Kate.
Forever and ever, Nate.
Make your taste buds happy and pick up a delicious, refreshing Pepsi.
Here the season never ends. From Wyoming sports to the Broncos in Denver. From Rockies baseball to talking hoops with Nuggets basketball. Local, regional, and national. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
We are back on Wyoming Sports Talk today. Well, we heard from the head coach at the University of Wyoming Cowgirls, Gerald Mattinson, with the win by the Cowgirls. We'll make it real quick on the guys' side as they were at Clune Arena in Colorado Springs as the Air Force Falcons entertained the Wyoming Cowboys, who are now 7-21. So they still have one more to go to match last season's 8-win mark, 2-14 in conference play. As the Falcons coughed one up and lost 78-72.
That was them at San Jose State were your only opportunities for the Cowboys to win, and, well, they did. So, other than that, though, I think coming up tomorrow at home, Nevada, yeah, they're not being the Wolfpack. I do believe Fresno State's the end out the regular season on the road. I'm not entirely sure, but again, those are the two at least remaining contests for the Cowboys. I think it's pretty safe to say that they wrap up with 7 wins.
Well, and again, they got great contribution off the bench from Milton III, who, again, played 35 minutes, scored 28 points, 4-7 from beyond the arc. Got a solid performance from Hunter Maldonado, who played 33 minutes and put in 19 points for the Cowboys. So 47 between the two, and then the rest of the team showed up. But the Cowboys led at the intermission 31-30, and then held off the Air Force charge at the end, outscoring them 47-42. So,
anyways.
The key was they hit their free throws down the stretch. They were 13 of 16 from the stripe, so that was huge, and Air Force was 17 of 27.
Tomorrow's home game, not anticipating with the win that a big crowd will be on hand for the final regular season game there at the AA. Again, for the Wyoming Cowboys, especially with snow in the forecast, the high winds, I-80's already closed to get out to Rawlins right now, so I don't anticipate a big crowd out there at the AA for that contest as they'll take on Nevada coming up tomorrow night. But anyways, moving away from D1 basketball, as we talked about LCCC women, need to talk about LCCC men from this past weekend, kind of a preview of what they got upcoming this weekend, where LCCC once again, it was another game where at the rack we had What If earlier against Sheridan, were again very competitive for LCCC, had that contest, even with one Eric Oliver being out at half, had a chance to win and upset, so to speak, the Generals at the rack about a few weeks ago. Similar situation here with Central Wyoming, where LCCC, especially, they had a lead, had a double-figure lead at a point in time in that contest, but then it was just the last 5 minutes or 6 minutes or so of that contest kind of let it slip out of their fingers, where they ran out of gas.
31 minutes that they actually were very good in this ball game, and then, like you said, petered out. They lost Oliver about midway through the first half, somewhere right around 8-9 minute mark to go in the first half, where he and I think Ash Chedua, they collided.
There was 3, at least you had one Central Wyoming player, then again, Eric Oliver looked like he
took the brunt of it.
Well, also, too, he kind of collided with the far wall, which, again, is just pure concrete there at the rack where you have a small padding, but there are areas to kind of collide with it. It looked like he crashed pretty hard with his head, where we saw as he was on the floor grabbing his head, eventually was at least moved back to the locker room, looked after with at least trainer Megan Shiflett, came back out, and at least he had his kind of warm-up top on, shorts and everything. He wasn't in street clothes, but you could see over on the bench he was holding his head, had a towel on, basically kind of shutting out any sound, any light, which indicates possible concussion for one Eric Oliver, which sent out the text to Coach Fick, and hopefully we'll hear from him before at least the show closes today, but try to get the health update for Eric Oliver and what his status is going to be for Saturday's game. But we saw with Haley Anderson and her at least concussion, she was out for about 3 contests. I don't anticipate Eric Oliver is going to be ready to go, or at least he's going to be cleared for Saturday's game.
Well, as we were talking with Coach Salisbury on our postgame show, Oliver did not indicate, one of the things with concussion, and again, obviously any trauma to the brain, sends a lot of mixed signals to the body. One of those signals, though, is your stomach's upset. Matter of fact, when Haley had that problem, you could see her on the bench where she was ready to hurl. I mean, she was that sick. Eric didn't give that indication that he was just kind of just hanging his head down.
The indication would be probably hanging his head down, holding the towel, and kind of covering his ears, as I just said, where, again, sounds like he was trying to block out all kind of, stimulants there at the rack.
Just had a headache, for all we know. We don't know.
Again, headache would indicate a possible concussion.
I know, but this kid has shown so much grit and resolve throughout the course of the year.
And again, that goes in whether it is basketball, football, with any athletics, where we've seen how many times that a player wants to still go back out there even with the concussion symptoms, but now again we have the processes of you got a concussion, you got to stay out. But again, it's kind of that more the will of the warrior, will of that athlete.
And we knew that
wants
he wasn't coming back. We knew that right away when he was down, because he was down for quite a while, and I think it was just one of those situations where the athletic trainer, Megan Shiflett, just walked him to the bench. They didn't go into the locker room. You notice that. They just walked up to the bench, and he just kind of sat there and just absorbed what was the rest of the half, went into the locker room with the team, and came back out.
Yeah.
But he also was standing up during the timeouts. So, he wasn't showing the dizziness portion of the program.
Again, we are not Eric Oliver. We are not his body. We do not know what's actually going on. Yeah, so again, you could only assume, but without the definitive proof, and hopefully we'll know here very soon by Coach Fick of what the status is of Eric Oliver. But if it is a concussion, by all intents and purposes, I don't think he's going to be ready, or at least he's going to be cleared for that Saturday's game. So that means that core that had to finish out that game against Central Wyoming, that, again, played about good 30 minutes, 35 minutes, but then just ran out of gas, slowed down. Here comes Central Wyoming taking advantage and again, coming away with a victory. Central Wyoming's obviously, again, skill level, not on the same pace as Casper College of what they've been doing and, again, how prestigious that program is. Again, we'll talk with head coach, at least Sean Gunning, coming up at least on Wednesday's show. But it's a scenario that, sure, you had confidence in yourselves that you can compete with a lot of these teams, but Casper's on a whole nother level.
Well, but, going back to the CWC, the Gwynn kid at 6'7", very athletic, very good.
Yeah.
The Gentry youngster, 5'10", he can hit from anywhere. He can hit from anywhere in the building too. So they have weapons, but as we saw, they still make mistakes.
Yeah.
They turn the ball over a lot. Where Coach Schmidt was just going ballistic a couple times on the side.
And that's where LCCC took advantage of some of them, and where LCCC, that was a game where I think even Coach Salisbury talked about that was your near-perfect game, or at least it's a game showing that, hey, there's improvement. Where Coach Salisbury kind of said it, at least kind of in a kidding fashion to you of, I wish we were playing like this in January, where what could have been the possibility throughout the season of how they are right now.
Or Courtney Dean was the guy that stepped up in the absence of Oliver. But again, where we saw 31 and a half minutes of basketball, which was good by LCCC. Then they went into that 4 or 5 minute lull. The MO on this team is, let's turn it over, let's go one and done.
And again, this out of a few contests for LCCC, they've been competitive. They've been competitive with the likes of Western. We saw having a double-digit lead against Central.
They led Sheridan.
They led Sheridan. They almost won that contest. Again, you swept Northwest. Eastern, different story, but again, they had opportunities in Eastern, but we'll see what happens. Again, if this team is trending upwards, could that be something, where, again, Coach Fick talks about, hey, who cares how we're playing in January, February? March is kind of that key time, or end of February is that key time where I want my team playing its best as it can. Is LCCC at that point where, hey, could they pull off the shocking upset at the Sweet against Casper College coming up this Saturday? Are they playing that basketball where if they can shore up that final 5 minutes, 5 minutes of these contests that they've had issues with, or what we just saw this past Saturday, if they could shore that up, is this a team that could be punching a ticket to have an opportunity in the Region 9 tournament happening out in Rock Springs?
Anything can happen. And we know the athleticism on LCCC is okay.
Could it also, too, be a scenario that for LCCC's sake that they come in, again, as, anyone could look at the standings that I post on Twitter or social media and look that this team has won 4 games this season out of 28 in total. That could it be a possibility? And again, you're human. Every athlete is human. They get in their own mind and get that little overconfident, a bit of saying, hey, we should whip all over this team.
Yeah, but
they're 4-24.
Again, too,
could that be also to another, at least, benefit slightly? Granted, we know Coach Gutting up there in Casper to have his team ready, but could it be a scenario that LCCC could be that shocking team? Or
probably not, because
they're overlooked.
They don't match up with this team. Yeah. That's the problem. With the Pepple kid, they don't match up inside.
No,
that has been our weak spot. Again. Even though Caleb Davis had a fairly decent game,
he stepped it up.
He stepped it up a little bit, but again, he's not a good defensive basketball player.
No.
Ash Chedua is very aggressive, but he gets in trouble foul-wise.
Yeah.
Dante Sophia doesn't like to mix it up inside.
Yeah, Dante is not an aggressor out there.
So we answered our own question. You can't win with basically 4 on the floor defensively. You got to have all 5. And that's where we get hurt. We are hurt in that pivot area with our big guys. They get beat speed-wise. They get beat size-wise.
And again, that's a scenario where for Coach Ficka, who was anticipating to have that guy back, where we kind of miss him right now. Again, the big 7-footer out of Sweden, that being David Appelgren, who is, again, now at Wofford University. But, imagine the possibilities if you had that height and, again, a sophomore, or at least how he would be a sophomore this season, of what he could have brought to the table and kind of contribute for LCCC. But, again, we could play all sorts of those what-if scenarios right now. But for this current team where you go into the equation minus Eric Oliver, or at least we have to play that game right now of no Eric Oliver. Does this team match up with Casper? Can they pull off the upset up there in the Swede? Again, a tough place for any team to win, let alone a team right now that has got 4 wins on the season. I don't know. It's a team that shows confidence in itself so far in the past couple of contests. I think in the past probably 4 contests, it's an LCCC team it's slowly bettering itself.
Well, and
it's slowly getting there.
Cabs is starting to pick up his game a little bit. It was good to see Dean have a great, sophomore game on Saturday. Mateo Zovko has been pretty consistent. And again, Mateo, once he goes cold from beyond the arc, he struggles as well too. So the thing is, without an Oliver, they've got problems. Perry and Grace, they're inconsistent in their shooting.
Yeah,
very inconsistent. So, Oliver's needed. I mean, that's bottom line. You don't have Eric Oliver, this one is going to get away fast and early.
As I got a message from Coach Ficka that he does not know currently, as he's been away from the team.
Right,
he should be returning back today. Yeah. So again, hopefully by tomorrow, we will know the status of Eric Oliver. But as of right now, he does not know what the at least current health status is for Eric Oliver. What's the outlook for this Saturday for LCCC? But thankfully enough for both LCCC men and women, they're 0-0. You start with a fresh slate here. Again, you wipe off what's the regular season, and you realize that, hey, it's the playoff time. It's one and done. You have a shot.
Well, you should use this short practice time, both men and women, to shore up your problems. And if I'm the Lady Golden Eagles right now, Coach Ortmeyer and Coach Ronaldo, let's work on those turnovers. Why are we committing these turnovers? Why are we throwing lazy passes? Again, correct me if I'm wrong. I know the Latu kid picked off. I mean, she had him in their sights and picked it off and went coast to coast with it. So again, these are things that the Lady Golden Eagles need to work on.
For the Lady Golden Eagles, it's turnovers, but again, better passing. You got to find at least a ball handler like Haley when she's out to figure out who's going to be that person to step it up and find a way to get it to Abby, at least row on the inside. That's plain and simple to kind of get the victory against Sheridan.
And our guard play on the guy side, quit shooting like you're Steph Curry. Yeah. There's only one Steph Curry around. Get the ball inside or get it to somebody that's going to get it from 15 feet out.
Yeah, without a doubt. It's an LCCC team that needs to start with baby steps right now to get some of these victories right now if they want to pull off the upset against Casper. Yeah, again, instead of taking kind of the circus shots, no, you need to make a little bit better plays, have a little bit better looks, and then find some way to contribute that way instead of going for that kind of big-time flashy 3.
All right, we need to take a timeout. When we come back, we will have the press conference from Mike Malone as the Denver Nuggets in the can yesterday beat the Minnesota Timberwolves to improve to 39-18. They're 22-7 in the Pepsi Center. We'll hear his comments coming up right after this on 1480 KRAE.
Every day we have the opportunity to lead by example. In delivering reliable, affordable, and responsible electricity to power what matters to you, we are taking bold steps to change how your energy is produced. With 50% of your electricity coming from renewable sources by 2024. Because as a cooperative, we are changing together. Whatever the future holds, we'll power it. Tri-State and High West Energy. Cooperative power. Transformed.
Did you know that in rural areas of Laramie County, electricity is reliable and affordable because of High West Energy? Based in Pine Bluffs, High West Energy is an electric co-op owned by the 10,000 customers we serve, and that includes F.U. Warren Air Force Base and 20 subdivisions around Cheyenne. For more than 75 years, High West has been proud to play a part in the steady growth and economic development of this region while also contributing to local nonprofits, charities, and civic organizations. Family owned and operated Lennox Auto Body, along with the Auto Glass and Detail Center, has been serving our community for over 25 years with quality service and workmanship. So when you want it done right the first time, call Lennox Auto Body at 634-6608 for an appointment. Lennox Auto Body at 1020 Dunn Avenue. And the Auto Glass and Detail Center, remember, it's not clean until it's Lennox clean at 617 East Pershing Boulevard.
Lennox Auto Body. No shortcuts, no compromise.
What's the difference between buzz driving and drunk driving? The answer is none. Buzz driving is drunk driving, period. Make sure you make responsible choices that don't endanger yourself and others. Take the pledge today. I'm going to be smart. I won't drive while buzzed. One drink is one too many when you're on the roads. If you drink, have a designated driver. Don't become a statistic and don't get arrested. Simply put again, buzz driving is drunk driving. And always remember to buckle up. Paid for by Federal Highway Safety Funds.
For almost 60 years, 1480 KRAE has been Cheyenne's home for good times and great oldies. Add to that live play-by-play sports featuring high school football and basketball, along with LCCC men's and women's basketball. Now combo that with KYOY FM and you have Cheyenne and the area's only locally owned AM and FM radio stations. But we don't stop there. We also have 2 FM translators which serve the area with programming from both KRAE and KYOY. And that equals a lot of bang for your advertising dollar. Radio yesterday and now today, along with our websites, web streams, and digital ventures, makes us your one-stop shop. For more information, please call Larry Proetti at 307-637-0301.
We are the key to your cleaning success. The Key People that provides affordable office and professional cleaning services for over 40 years with exceptional customer care. All of our contractors have background checks and are licensed and bonded. We guarantee you a safe and secure service that is tailored to your individual and business needs. The Key People do not impose year-long contracts, and all quotes are free, confidential, and personalized. Call the Key People at 1-800-468-8283. That's 1-800-468-8283.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
Weather-wise for today, high wind warning is in effect until 5 p.m. Otherwise, partly to mostly cloudy and windy. Look for a daytime high of 33. A slight chance of snow showers this afternoon. Winds will be westerly to around 40 miles per hour, gusting as high as 55. For tonight, partly cloudy and windy again with a chance of snow showers after midnight. Winds will be westerly at 25 to 30, gusting as high as 45. And for tomorrow, Tuesday, mostly cloudy with a better chance for snow showers. Expected daytime high near 23. Continued windy northerly winds at 20 to 30, gusting as high as 45 miles per hour.
You bleed brown and gold? So do we. Wyoming Cowboys football and basketball is always front and center on this show. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Well, Coach, you inject a little defense in that third quarter and things changed for your team.
Yeah, and actually I thought it even started in the second quarter. You know, that first quarter there was zero defense by either team, but I believe in quarters 2 through 4 we held them to 41% from the field, which is outstanding. The turnovers were definitely an issue once again tonight, 14 for 27. So that's 2 games in a row now where we're not valuing the ball at a high enough level. In the first half, we didn't rebound. Second half, much better job of rebounding and limiting their second chances. But a lot of guys stepped up, played really well for us. Paul was phenomenal. And I thought guys off the bench were really impactful as well.
Both Paul and Nicola, I think they only missed 4 shots between them. Is that as good as they've played 1-2 down low all season?
Yeah, I remember looking up at one point in the first quarter, like 3 minutes to go, and we were shooting 100%. I said, gee, this is amazing. I don't know if it's good offense or just no defense. But Paul had a rhythm. You know, that was fun to watch. He shot the ball really well from the three-point line. We had 29 assists, which is a great number. And Nicola, just the efficiency, to your point, Vic, the efficiency in which they played was fun. And I thought Gary Harris played really well. I thought, one, his defense on Malik, who's been playing at a high level for them, was outstanding. I don't know if Malik scored when Gary was on him. And then to see him attacking, to see him making shots and being aggressive, you know, hopefully that's just going to be the beginning of getting Gary back, because we know that we can't be the team we want to be without Gary playing at the level we know he's capable of.
I was going to ask, was that a game within a game, Gary on Malik there?
There's no doubt. There's no doubt. Malik, very lively, personable, talking a lot. And, I think it was something where Gary, like he does every night, but this one was a little extra special, having a chance to go out there and lock him up. But, it's great to see both Juancho and Malik playing well for them, and obviously we miss them. So we're happy for their success.
Monte Morris is getting a lot of minutes. Could you talk about his development? He seems to be becoming more integral to our offense and defense.
Yeah, when Monte's on the floor, you just kind of feel really secure. He's going to make the right play. He's going to run his team. He's going to make all of his teammates better, and he values the ball at such a high level. He's shooting the ball extremely well, and he's going to fight on the defensive end. So his minutes tonight, 31. I tried to keep, unlike Oklahoma City, I tried to keep a starter in the game at all times, Jamal or Will. But Monte, even in that fourth quarter, was just making all the right plays. So that's what we need from him, and that's what he brings every night.
You mentioned the bench. How pleased were you to see just sort of the shape and cohesion that Mason, Jeremy, and Monte, all sort of gave you guys in that second unit?
Yeah, they were. I thought all those guys were terrific. I think Mason, he only goes out there and plays 14 minutes, and he gives you 9 and 4. And just setting great screens and running the floor and defending. Monte running his team, and Jeremy Grant just kind of everything he brings to the table. So I got to find a way to get Michael Porter going. I got to find a way to depending on the matchup. If Torrey Craig played a little bit tonight, if D'Angelo Russell plays, he probably plays more. It's a good problem to have because we have so many players on our roster. But Monte, Mason, and Jeremy were terrific for us.
With 3 seconds to go, you're sitting there having a conversation with Jamal. We see you kind of do that during the first game, practice back after the All-Star game. In those moments, is that just kind of you guys, really kind of connecting with each other's viewpoints about the game and building that relationship between you and him?
Yeah, we were talking about the Tyson Fury fight last night. No. Yeah, it's just talking. Like Jamal and I have a great relationship, always communicating. What do I see? What does he see? And just kind of letting him know the things that we have to do better and what I need him to do better. He and Nicola are emerging as leaders with their example, with their voice, their play, their emotion. And that's got to be every night. Now we have, I think, 25 more games. And we're going to ask Nicola and Jamal to do so much on the court. Other guys have to step up, but it's constant communication, and I think that's why we've become as close as we are, and we kind of read each other so well.
You've always said an aggressive Monte Morris is the best Monte Morris for you guys. Is that what has been happening over the past 2 months or so?
Yeah, I think opportunity, minutes. The silver lining to the injuries that you have is other guys get a chance to play and play extended minutes, and so now they're not, finding that rhythm or struggling, if you will. But Monte has been such a huge part of us playing at the high level I feel we've played at for most of the last month and a half. And he's just settling down. Like he's out there. He knows that I have confidence in him. I'm going to let him run his team and make the plays, and he's just going out there and doing that at a high level. So, like I said earlier, when Monte has a ball in his hand, when he's on the floor, I feel very safe about the direction of our team.
Look, Coach, you inject a little defense in that third quarter.
yourself time by calling Cheyenne Urological, now at 307-635-4131. That's 307-635-4131.
Capital Lumber is number one in Cheyenne. Are you listening? We're all the lumber store you'll ever need.
Since 1966, family-owned and operated Capital Lumber Company has been the stop for all lumber, paint, tools, accessories, remodel and do-it-yourself projects, and so much more. Now, Capital Lumber Company announces the beginning of a tasty relationship with Traeger grills, as they now have in stock several models of Traeger grills, along with pellets and accessories. Capital Lumber Company at 1222 Dunn Avenue in Cheyenne.
Did you know B&B Appliance and TV has a local warehouse where they stock a variety of appliances in a wide range of colors and finishes, including black and white? Their friendly staff realizes that one look isn't for everyone, and appliance shopping isn't always convenient. B&B Appliance offers free in-town delivery and disposal of your old appliances. They'll be there for you after the sale, too, because they always service what they sell. B&B Appliance and TV, 714 Central Avenue. Best brands, hometown service.
When you are dealing with the coin shop to buy, sell, or trade your gold, silver, or other precious metals, you will be met with honesty, fairness, knowledge, and exceptional customer service. The Coin Shop has been serving Cheyenne since 1982 and is a respected member of our community. Call David today at 778-7196 to meet privately or visit during regular business hours, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 p.m. The Coin Shop, a dealer you can trust, 510 West 16th Street.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
Weather-wise for today, a high wind warning is in effect until 5 p.m. Otherwise, partly to mostly cloudy and windy. Look for a daytime high of 33. A slight chance of snow showers this afternoon. Winds will be westerly to around 40 miles per hour, gusting as high as 55. For tonight, partly cloudy and windy again with a chance of snow showers after midnight. Winds will be westerly at 25 to 30, gusting as high as 45. And for tomorrow, Tuesday, mostly cloudy with a better chance for snow showers. Expected daytime high near 23. Continued windy northerly winds at 20 to 30, gusting as high as 45 miles per hour.
Fat, lazy, and stupid is no way to conduct a sports talk radio show. We've thrown down the gauntlet, upped the stakes, and made it clear that when it comes to sports talk radio in Cheyenne, there's a new player in town. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk Today. Larry Proity, along with Nick Proity, and we bring on our next special guest. He's our faux coach for the weekend, that being Ryan Davis, third-year head coach with the Lady Generals in Sheridan. Coach, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. We appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
All right, so, Coach, both teams, Lady Golden Eagles, who will match up with you Saturday afternoon, and the Lady Generals, both coming off losses this past weekend. Your loss, and again, no disrespect to the Lady Thunderbirds, but you had one of those nights that, boy, let's go back to the drawing board and play basketball all over again. You just had a rough night all in general there in the Golden Dome.
Yeah, we did. You know, we've had probably two of those all year, and that was one of them, maybe three all year, and that was one of the three. And you know, we really tried to slow the ball down because, you know, trying to go toe-to-toe with Casper, with a team that scores it like they do, you know, just going to be tough. And so, you know, I think defensively we were able to really do some things to disrupt them and limit possessions. But on the same side of the coin, it limited possessions for us. And, boy, we didn't shoot it very well. So, yeah, not a great one. And, you know, at this point you just go, hey, we're in the third season now, and like you said, just kind of go back to the drawing board and try to figure it out in a week.
Coach, more shocked that you only scored 29 points against the Lady Thunderbirds or the LCCC loss to CWC?
Oh, boy. You know, they're probably pretty equal, I would say. You know, I can't imagine Brian, you know, was too happy and everything. But
the announcers weren't either.
What's that?
The announcers weren't happy either.
Yeah, you know, I of course, when it's your team, you're a little bit more disappointed. We knew how good Casper was, but we were pleasantly surprised, obviously, because you know we just knew that Laramie had the tiebreaker over us if it did end up tied. So And I found out literally right after the handshake line. So it took a little bit of the sting off for us, but, I don't know, man. That's a tough one for both sides.
Well, looking at least how the regular season wrapped up for your Lady Generals, sitting at 4th place, hosting at least this first-round playoff game against LCCC coming up this Saturday, 2 o'clock, a game that we will have here live on 1480 KRAE. But, for your Lady Generals, wrapping up in Region 9 North play in the division, 8-6, 17-12 overall. For you, Coach, 2019-2020, again, finishing 17-12 and in 4th place in the division. Is that where you anticipated your team? Did they exceed expectations? What's kind of your overall thoughts of this season?
Well, it's tough because before the year started, I think you look at your roster and you go, we look really competitive. We had arguably 2 of our 3 best players got hurt right before the season started, and they're out the whole year. So, I think when you look at where we're at with our roster numbers, and we had to add a couple kids that weren't even on our radar at the beginning of the year just to kind of get a roster filled out. 17-12 is not bad. We're surely very, very happy to have a first-round game at home. We didn't have that last year. So with where we're at, with the things that have kind of happened with us health-wise, it's good. Of course, there's those games you look back at every year and you go, man, if we had done this, that, and the other, maybe we could get to 20. But, we're at where we're at now, and we start that 3rd season, and so everybody's 0-0.
So you get a chance again. This is the 3rd time now that LCCC and the Lady Generals get together. Series 1-1. You won in the Golden Dome. In the RAC, the Lady Golden Eagles pick up the win. But the one stat that sticks out to me, Coach, between the 2 games, 112 fouls. And I know both you and Coach Ortmeyer were chatting with each other after the last game when there was 59 fouls called, and it kind of takes away from both what you and Coach Ortmeyer are trying to accomplish with your defense. Again, you're both very active, and when the Zebras start taking control of the game, kind of throws off your, I guess, your philosophy a little bit. So, again, just going back to what I was saying, 112 fouls. I mean, wow. Is it being too tightly called for top-notch defensive teams?
I certainly don't think it's normal. I do think that both of our styles are very similar. Brian earlier in the year was playing two bigger, players, and then probably halfway through the conference season moved to more of a 4-out 1-in look, which is very similar to ours. And with that, I think, you have more people that are athletic, fast, can fly around there and pressure defensively. It's surely going to lead to probably more fouls than average, but I think 112 is excessive. And I think that we would both agree on that, and that was kind of the conversation we had after the game. But, I'm not really sure. It's a tough one to say. I think that our kids could definitely do a better job of keeping hands off and being a little bit more disciplined and all those sorts of things. But at the same time, if you look at the stats, you go back and look at the stats from the game down there, boy, we didn't take advantage of very many of those opportunities to go to the free throw line and narrow that game down there, and that's the difference. Laramie goes down, does a great job, and hits free throws and makes big shots when they need to, and we didn't. So while the fouls maybe were a little bit more than we expected on a normal 29, 30 game season, it's the opportunity that's presented in front of you, and you got to take advantage of it.
Very good mention on that. You were 24 of 40 from the stripe, where LCCC hit 24 of 30. So, yeah, you had 10 more opportunities, and you ended up losing that contest by 13. But, who knows what would happen.
Yeah, we'll see what happens this Saturday. Hopefully it's a better called, at least, contest up there in the Golden Dome, where we've kind of been, at least the outliers, of saying, hey, we need consistency for a lot of these teams, again, where we're getting 59 fouls in one game and just only 20 of our recent contests. But neither here nor there. But looking at this upcoming matchup this Saturday, again, it is every team heading into the playoffs 0-0. You match up. The only advantage is you're playing that first-round playoff game at home for at least this Saturday. Coach, as you analyze, you split the series. You already picked up a victory against LCCC, but to kind of get away with a victory and head on into the Region 9 tournament, what does your Lady Generals team need to do to get the victory over LCCC this Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, I think all those things are things that we've thought about. Just being at home versus being away is a major thing, of course. I think any team, or at least most teams in our region, play quite a bit better at home than they do on the road. But outside of that, obviously we've got to capitalize on opportunities, and that's kind of been the thing for us this year is, when you get easy ones, you got to make them. The tough ones are going to be tough. And if you got to rely on making the really tough ones and you're not making the easy ones, it's going to be a long day. And Laramie's good enough to score a lot of points, and you're going to have to keep up with them. I think Brian does a really good job. In fact, I really like the way his team's kind of switched to more of a 4-out, 1-in look. Keeps teams off balance. They're harder to guard. So we're going to have to defend. I think we're just going to have to be solid defensively. I don't know if we'll have to do anything crazy, but boy, when it comes down to our offense, we've got to make free throws. We've got to make the easy ones, and then you can't shoot 15 or 20% from three. It's got to be somewhere consistently in the 30s to have a chance. Especially against Laramie, they can get hot and really hit threes and take momentum from you. So I think those are the things. And then in addition, just taking care of the ball, giving ourselves opportunities to get shots off, and that's been a struggle for us at times this year. So if we can take care of those things, it's a lot easier said than done. I think we're going to give ourselves a great shot. But, of course, really it's a coin flip between ourselves and Laramie. I think we're very similar, and I think both teams are capable of winning the game.
We're talking with Ryan Davis, head women's basketball coach for the Lady Generals in Sheridan. You made a good point there, Coach, that I want to expand on as well. Turnovers. Both these teams, and again, I think you had 18 in the loss against Casper here this past Saturday. LCCC was in the 20s, if I'm not mistaken. We're too late in the season to be flipping the ball over that much, and I'm sure you're concerned, as Coach Ortmeyer is, but then again, too, you on the other side, that's got to give you a little bit of coaching arsenal to go after the basketball.
Absolutely. Anytime you can steal an extra possession, that's going to be it. And I think everybody kind of knows in coaching, for the most part, shooting percentages are going to be fairly similar. There's not going to be a whole lot of teams that are shooting in the 50s from three and high 40s from two in our league. And if they are, they're going to be one of the best teams, if not the best team in the league, like a Casper. I think there's a lot more teams that shoot lower percentages, and when you get to the 4-5 matchup, it's going to come down to having more possessions. If you're going to shoot similar percentages, if you're going to get similar, maybe trips to the free throw line or whatever it is, hopefully that's the case, this Saturday. But you're going to really have to take care of the ball, and it's on both sides. Our teams have kind of struggled in those areas this year, and to be honest with you, I don't think it's something with practice you're gonna fix in 5 days, 6 days here. It's one of those things that mentally you're just gonna have to be tough. We're gonna have to slow down a little bit, really value the basketball, play together, not play one-on-one ball. We did that quite a bit down there, and the team that can do that better is probably going to be the team that wins, to be honest, because like I said, the shooting percentages are going to be fairly the same. Rebounds and turnovers are going to be it.
How much of your bench, and again, I think of, right off the top of my head, two of them, Cynthia Green, who comes in and she's kind of like your muscle underneath, and then Sarah Oka, who can take you outside and get you some points in a hurry as well. How much is your bench going to come into play for this contest against Lady Golden Eagles? I would think that you're really going to need some top-notch efforts. I think you have Bartlett coming off the bench and Cheatham as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Those three kids are all important. We've got another girl, Emma Cheatham, that comes off the bench and does a really good job for us too. And we've got a lot of interchangeable parts. I think the one that's different than everybody else is probably Cynthia Green. She's that player that can give us some really athletic plays. She can grab us some extra rebounds to get us extra possessions. She shoots a pretty high percentage from the field, and she's really our only muscle kid, like you mentioned. So Sarah's had some games where she's just lit it up. Especially, I believe the game at Northwest College, I think she scored 26 or something like that, and so when she gets hot, she does a really great job. So, we've got 8 or 9 kids, and we're going to use all of them, and we're going to count on everybody to be really solid and to just take the game as it comes. Nobody really needs to go out there and hit a home run. We just need solid efforts from all of them. But, yeah, to your point, our bench is going to be very, very important. And I think a little bit of it is also because the style of play. You know, we're very similar to Laramie. We want to play a little bit faster, I would say, than normal, and we're not going to walk the ball up the court and just play 7 kids, so we're going to need all 9 of them.
As you look at the game field, and final question from me, Coach, and again, we appreciate you joining us here today on Wyoming Sports Talk today, but, you know, as we look into the matchup, and as you've seen plenty of game film of LCCC and the Lady Golden Eagles, you know, you talk about how speedy this team is on the offense, but, you know, on the defense, this is a team when it was at least going early on in the season on the defense, it could get stills, at least that still stack, at least kind of mount up for the LCCC Lady Golden Eagles. Is that something that you've kind of at least talked with your team of, again, kind of protecting the basketball? And then outside of that as well, too, Coach, of looking at game film of LCCC, what other problems kind of pose for your Lady, at least Generals, coming up this Saturday?
Yeah, it's a great question on the defense. I think that obviously they're one of the teams that's in the upper echelon.
I hope we didn't lose him. Well,
he sounds like we might have.
He's probably still chatting right there, telling us how he's saying that we're in the upper echelon. There he is. Hey, wait, he's fading. He's fading back in right now.
Yep. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah. Just don't move your head. Okay. Stay stationary.
Yeah. So I think my point is that they're in the upper echelon of the league in just turning people over. You know, obviously those steals are really, really important for them, and they're hard to stop in transition. But I really do think that this time of the year, at least at our level, 2-year level, with freshmen and sophomore kids, you got to worry about yourself more than you got to worry about the other team to a certain extent. Now that doesn't mean that you don't do a scouting report and have some tendencies and some conversations about what the other team can do. But if we were a team that really, really, really did a great job with the ball and we were facing Laramie County normally, we'd probably have more of a conversation about that. But we don't, you know, and that's been a struggle for us all year. So I think it's just more about slowing down, making the right decision with the ball, regardless who we're playing. And that comes back to more, I think, us than it does them. But, you know, something that worries me maybe the most about Laramie is how they spread you out and can get the ball to outside shooters. And they've got 3 or 4 kids on the court at all times that can really shoot it. And so, you know, anytime there's a drive and you help at all, they kick out to a shooter and you're just almost praying that shot doesn't go in. So containing dribble penetration and being there on the catch is going to be very, very important. And, of course, I think that's what a lot of teams do in our league, but they're one of the better ones. Obviously, beating Casper, beating Midland earlier in the year. They shot the ball very well. They handled the ball really well. I think they've gotten tougher as the year's gone on. So those are the things that concern me, and it's going to be a tough out for us.
Well, Coach, we will see you on Saturday. We want to thank you for giving us a few minutes of your time today. And again, Lady Generals and the Lady Golden Eagles, it's turning out to be quite a series since you've come into play, as well as Brian being the head coach at LCCC. It's not over until that final whistle.
Absolutely, yeah. It should be a great game, and hopefully a good one for everybody to watch here up in Sheridan as well.
All right, sounds good. Coach, thanks so much for joining us this afternoon.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Ryan Davis, head women's basketball coach, Sheridan College, Lady Generals, and the Lady Golden Eagles. Me will be there. Nick, we will have our pregame show around 1:40, tap time 2 p.m. And again, you win, you play, you lose, season over. It's a pretty simple drill. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be right back. Get ready to wrap things up here on 1480 KRAE.
Every day we have the opportunity to lead by example. In delivering reliable, affordable, and responsible electricity to power what matters to you, we are taking bold steps to change how your energy is produced. With 50% of your electricity coming from renewable sources by 2024. Because as a cooperative, we are changing together. Whatever the future holds, we'll power it. Tri-State. Cooperative power transformed.
10 years ago, the Department of Defense selected High West Energy to provide electricity on F.E. Warren Air Force Base. For a decade, we have been proud to work hand in hand with the Air Force leadership to ensure we provide the base with the affordable, reliable power it needs to be an economic driver for the region and serve a vital national security interest for this country. High West Energy, the best choice, the local choice, the right choice for you. Family owned and operated Lennox Auto Body, along with the Auto Glass and Detail Center, has been serving our community for over 25 years with quality service and workmanship. So when you want it done right the first time, call Lennox Auto Body at 634-6608 for an appointment. Lennox Auto Body at 1020 Dunn Avenue. And the Auto Glass and Detail Center, remember, it's not clean until it's Lennox clean at 617 East Pershing Boulevard.
Lennox Auto Body. No shortcuts, no compromise.
Winter driving in Wyoming. Are you prepared? Winter storms strike quickly across Wyoming's high plains and the mountains. When they do, driving conditions can deteriorate rapidly and become very challenging. Make sure your vehicle is ready for the elements and you have an emergency preparedness kit available. Driving on slick roads, always remember slower speed, acceleration, steering, and braking. Also turn off the cruise control and always buckle up. Ice and snow. Take it slow. Know before you go. For travel info, call 511 or online at wyoroad.info. Paid for by Federal Highway Safety Funds.
1480 KRAE is your home for live play-by-play coverage of high school basketball and football. Hi, this is Nick Brody inviting you to hear all the play-by-play calls of East, Central, and South football and basketball. You'll hear the conference action along with the postseason, and during the basketball season, 1480 KRAE features both boys and girls games. Catch all the exciting calls on AM 1480 KRAE, also streaming the games worldwide on the web at 1480KRAE.com.
We are the key to your cleaning success. The Key People that provides affordable office and professional cleaning services for over 40 years with exceptional customer care. All of our contractors have background checks and are licensed and bonded. We guarantee you a safe and secure service that is tailored to your individual and business needs. The Key People do not impose year-long contracts, and all quotes are free, confidential, and personalized. Call the Key People at 1-800-468-8283. That's 1-800-468-8283.
We're taking Cheyenne, Wyoming Sports Talk Radio to a whole new level. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Don't look at me. I think these people are completely nuts.
Stop this crazy thing! And it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
It's kind of hard to believe after Saturday, because we get that extra day in the month of February, we're going to be running into March Madness, Nick. And, of course, with March Madness, speaking of March, there's a very special event going on, which we are very happy to be a part of, and it'll be going on at LCCC.
It will be from LCCC Athletics. It is the Blue and Gold Bash that is happening March 28th, Saturday, 6 p.m. It is casino night. It is benefiting LCCC Golden Eagle Athletic Scholarships and student athletes. This is happening at the Clay Pathfinder building. It is $30 per person, $50 per couple. It'll have a silent auction, heavy hors d'oeuvres, cash bar. Tickets, if you are interested, you can go online at lccc.wy.edu/Blue and Gold Bash. You can also call LCCC at 307-778-1314 or email Megan Shiflett at mschiffle, M-S-H-I-F-F-L-E at lccc.wy.edu. There are also, for parents out there, if you're interested, those couples who want to pay the $50 for the casino night, childcare is available for ages 5 to 12 there at LCCC for that casino night. Again, March 28th, Saturday, 6 p.m. casino night. Again, it is benefiting LCCC Golden Eagle Athletic Scholarships and student athletes. Again, casino night. Can't go wrong with that. They're also giving away, at least, not sure how it's all going to happen, but they are giving away at least special prize, at least gift bags, gift baskets. Again, whether it is, I think they're having drawings as well too. I saw like a sushi class they're offering, LCCC swag. I think of recent, they were giving away Nuggets tickets as well too. So again, there's going to be special prizes up for grabs with this casino night. So again, keep an eye out on it. Again, they have their own social media, at least passing along a lot of that information. And again, if you're looking for more information on it, lccc.wy.edu/Blue and Gold Bash.
Want to just wrap things up yesterday as I had a chance to sit down in the official Pro Shop recliner. Baseball was on TV yesterday. Watched the Angels and the Rockheads from Tempe Diablo. And I always have an affection for Tempe Diablo. I've played a few games in that stadium. But the grass was green. The sun was shining. It's baseball season.
Not really.
Yet.
Still basketball.
Oh,
You
no.
still have March Madness, NCAA basketball, again, JUCO on this side, NHL coming up with the playoffs, NBA playoffs. So, again, we still got a lot to go before. Granted, playoffs there on the pro side are more April, May, June. But
there's a baseball story. I think I got about a minute left here. Yesterday, as a matter of fact, there's this gentleman who's bringing up a lawsuit against Major League Baseball.
It's not going to happen.
I know. He got hit. And this is how dumb the guy was. I never saw the pitch. I never saw the guy hit it. And he had this big old bruise on his face, screaming Mimi. Well, again, now they're extending the baselines out.
All netting is, again, required for all teams.
But you said it even best, the same thing, too. They do announcements before the game.
It's on your ticket stubs. It's on
your ticket stub as well.
Announcements. Again, you are supposed to pay attention when the ball is in play.
I still think they should make that announcement maybe a couple more times while the game is, when they go in between innings. Just simply for the fact you got crowds that arrive later. And again, what has happened in our world? Technology. The guy didn't see the pitch, didn't see the ball hit. What was he doing? He was on his cell phone. Hello. Yeah,
we've all been on our cell phone at
wait
a
a minute.
game.
Case dismissed. There you go.
Nothing's going to come of it. It's
Major
stupid,
League Baseball's had this long-standing rule for over 100-some years, and this clown is not going to. Wow. You're.
Then why'd you bring it up? Again, it's not going to go anywhere.
I know, but it's just the things you hear that people are trying to pull. And again, I don't want to see anybody ever get hurt at a game. Don't get me wrong, but this guy, I didn't see the pitch. And I didn't see the guy hit the ball. I was on my phone.
Just Darwinism in act.
All right.